Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good morning. November 26th. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good morning. November 26th, 2022, Saturday morning. Yeah, salon people, Saturday morning. We want for come reach out to now. We know so there's a lot of things where they go on. The Fetna Parliament, all of that, and we want for left and the force. So focus on what's really, really important. We get for really pull matter beyond our power because we know say this registration verification. We can take una all the way back to how they make una register for only 15 days. For the very first time in the history of a country, we see 1996 where we get pan rebel wars if people and get over 30 days for register. Simultaneously, we mean say everybody register across the country with peace of mind. But with me today, of course, I get the African Express, Chairman of the African Express, Cashbox and People's Power. Hopefully, Comrade will join me later on. But some people they want for open up on our eyes because the registration verification very important. Everybody, I want you to listen to this. For the registration, where you don't go register. Now, for let you verify your name, for say it didn't the voter register, and I know reach so. And it's very, very, very important. I want to share to all of our brother them, all the small village and tongue them. When I go to the Bluetooth speaker them, when I play within town chief, then section chief them, the paramount chief them. This is our responsibility at the local level. Everybody, who say you go where you go register, that time don't reach back. For let you go, now that same place where you register. For let you go, make sure say you name the day, you picture the day, you fingerprint the day, and all your information correct. Now the time don't reach so. Now this we can talk to now about. We know say members of parliament not fet, then they still they fet. They them fet. Members of parliament and members of parliament. We want call the whole attention to what's important right now back world for focus on now the verification. You only get 4 days. November 24 to November 28th. Today that the 25. We get less than 3 days more. We all man for go verify. Because if you don't go verify, you not able for vote. And if you're not able for vote, you know the pull marabio. Rest there, pepper there, pamine there, fish there, tea not there for it. You don't get freedom. When you talk, they hold you, then go lock you up. Then you come on and treat you protest.
You cut the flow a little bit. If you're not able to pull marabio, angry go kill you now.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Just continue.
Absolutely, Kashi. Very, very important. That's a great point. So, only way we know say we want change. We know say we def for una ya. We don't cancel for watch this democracy. We protect her. Now responsibility. We no care who that in the power. We make sure say we hold people accountable. Now with this one we fight against APC, so. But then why I come back? This one guess where pass anything. Can they they all don't sit down now quietly. Yang ready read from the again. This man will be the last say, Egdo. If you only me will beat you, they go they complain. Yang can they don't go. So we the people that we fight for ourselves now.
But say if we are egg well egg they ask for under the egg now all like.
Well, something like the egg now Orlando, but we see we know now at least now in Papa and Party now SLPP. But some people like this is very, very important. And at least make brother African Express, they can talk to we for remind we because like I say again, when I remember where the leader of the opposition, Honorable Chano Majuba, they do they do the registration for say that they open up the registration day. Then go launch and then play music, then they dance. Cheroba they go dance with them. The man for comprehensible 15 days. We want to take for the very first time in the history of the country. People they register 15 days and 15 days and that. So basically the whole of Sierra Leone 17 days then they get for register. And that 17 days after one phase or the second phase, and the first phase no more. Salon people when I see what we talk about. You don't tell what they tell una. So now make with this phase don't reach so now for now verify una registration. Important. That your registration is very important, and one other very, very important thing when I notice this. That slip when you now where you old. That slip you don't give nobody. Where you go to the registration center for go verify your registration. If they want to take an year, not give nobody that slip they old because we get for use them for the day of the election. And brother Cheno above the African Express go can't tell you the phone number because you don't put it get a certain phone number. Who will get for call? When I listen to them points there. When I get for call, you will go to that center for go check your name. Your name not the day. You get for call this number for the brother African Express of Cheno above the African Express. We keep all the names standing together. Just like I be do with the August 10 protest. We all be support the August 10 protest too, but at least when citizens their life don't involved, we get for take advantage. We get for make sure so we protect their rights. So brother Cheno remember we keep that list there. Get over almost 500,000 people and names them. We test they will not able to offend them people and they wouldn't kill you in the August 10 protest. We disappear. So that the same thing you don't put put a number back where you get for call. You will go to the registration center for go find your name. You don't see your name, you get for call that number. They will go announce and to brother channel bar of the African Express get them. We can open the floor for them. But this make we do this audio today. This audio today, the most important thing we for take away. Not pay attention to nothing else, but for go check your name. Now the registration center where you go for go register. You remember, also you go team up. Now that long line, we didn't take advantage. Pa una suffer for long register. That's simplestly. I don't know all for go. Una organize una safe na the community. Una able for pay transport. Una put una safe together. If na 10-15 person una go for go verify una name them. It's very important. And when you verify your name, you look for your fingerprint. You look for your picture. You make sure say your name correct. Everything correct. Commodity. So now. And I want to talk about. These are the most important things. So don't pay attention too much. The parliament, body, where they regulate themselves, they go take care of themselves. But for now, this particular one, so we know that the registration, that the most important thing for us to go verify on our registration. We notice the radio station in the country, they announce, TV station, they announce better, civil society organization, they announce, journalists, they talk about them all over the country. If we can't talk to them, we need to get a message there. Now, these are the most important. Not focus on nothing again until the 28th. Everybody for make sure say you go check your name for make sure say you register. Don't forget say Mother Beauty don't pull, they want pull 250,000+ names. Almost 250,000 people. Almost 250,000 people from the voter registration. And sometimes you know one person, if you don't go check that registration center, your name no go there. So Kashi, tell family I do people so tell family I do they will bring in Brother African Express. They'll take it from there.
Family Muna Adu and Muna, good morning this Saturday. I believe say some power some mango group will say, oh boy, it's in too long, the full with storage and all that, and a lot of people have a better full of storage and get the right information. We're full of so much ingredients for we go change we country. Ibrahim. This petrol the so for save democracy. Madam BDO don't destroy democracy in other country. And this not the same way I believe say we all for put we shoulders to the wheel, and make we take back we country. So a lot of people as we always they say, we get the people where we always they call the moral guarantors. Maybe it's a time Bokupa we can use that word loosely without knowing what it actually mean. These people wouldn't say moral guarantors. Moral can be your culture, can be something where you decide for don't kind adopt as part of your way of life. And these are the people that we for guarantee for make sure say these things them where we don't kind of the way of life be kind of monitored and checked and make sure it is done the right way. And this way of life where we don't choose the democracy. But yet still we get people where they destroy this way of life where we don't actually adopt or we don't decide saying that this way we want go. Now Manda be you the destroyer. And what thing is really painful and annoying. Now when you see people just because they get their lane inside this government, just because they feel say, we them in them now we the better this time around, then they come and they see blatant steal them. Some people if only God can come to una in una dream for make una see the thing them where una they lose out on the thing them the benefits they wanna forget. That's why I see when people they talk about tax, somebody they talk say, all man they pay tax now the world is say Bible effect way effect now foolish bet because Bible I say effects not for pay tax. Yes, Saudi Arabia, some people for years. The citizens are not be the pay tax. And there are the time tax jurisdiction where they didn't make their citizens pay tax. Why? Because they get enough natural resources for look after the citizens them. So they don't depend on tax. Saudi Arabia now recently they begin to tax their citizens them. Recently. Ibrahim certain thing that they will do because it's possible for them salon people that live such life with waiting we get. Salon people let we wake up and decide for choose life because this thing where we depend so now on a life them. Now on a life them we care about. Seriously, waking up Saturday morning. Ibrahim is on vacation as I say yesterday now we audio. And they're on vacation with a woman. But you know what? Because like not to say something we clever person now because we don't choose or take time, and because we don't say things them before, now it get connection. So it's easy for me we just flow through and then we tell Una waiting with the see. And this is the power of this conglomeracy where we don't form, because right, like we deliberate things, we think behind the scene. You know, like and the family I'm telling you, one kind of person where say Una don't know behind it, and Una don't know like deep inside am. Anytime when he says something, you go always they ask, oh, waiting Una think. This is how a nation or how a leader for the act. Always they ask, waiting Una think. And for me, it can say on that number, but every time I think back, I was like, you know what? This is a powerful man. And so a lot of people, this is what we do, and this is what we think and dream for Una life them. Over to you, Ibrahim.
Thank you. Yes, People's Power. Come on in, my brother.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Ibrahim. Thank you very much, Cashbox. I want to tell family and plenty thank you. This Saturday morning, we all long come back now. So we all know see now we responsibility as Sierra Leoneans, now we responsibility as citizens for make we ensure see we disseminate the information to una we na the electorate them, una we get for go make una decision tomorrow on the 24th of June 2023. We get Nayasu and we brother we na Chel Nova get for come and for come explain comprehensively. We all go come talk within the happy na the voters and verification where they take place right now. The amount of people where they don't omit, where they don't pull, they don't grab, they name them, delete, they name them from the voters registration. We making always they tell people and say Mohamed Kanau Kone we na the
next year, man. Look like saying I want to bring trouble now, Konski. But yes, but some people, these are very important points we can make, and also roll us people's past more network. Go ahead, People's Power. Okay. All right, we don't lost People's Power and Brother Cheroba, I know say People's Power will get for interrupt you small way they start.
With money, we they buy them internet system they also. So as I say, we get and we got an ask to tell no where we will come explain a lot of things them way they happen right now na NECO and they Paris and this verification done. I think say today na Saturday the verification today will make a 3 days where this verification done. Don't now me like me so I don't go do my verification everything okay about me, but one problem no more where I get of course me daughter and I day first time this for make it go for vote next year election, but everything about I'm correct, but the face there is no photo, there is no picture for them. So which means a day part of the people them also we get problems. So what will they say? Family, una get for the listen to which we talk, una get for listen and if for ensure say if for go do your verification, because that verification they now go know whether the spelling them correct, whether everything where you give them is correct, because they get for print that I for go show for make you go for go vote. But una when are the people where go on and no meet you name them down a receipt. Una keep that receipt and tell no they can give una number. Where una all they use that number for complaint. Over to you, Ibrahim.
Thank you, People's Power. Brother Cheno, floor is all yours, my brother.
Yeah, I want to tell you thank you for the continuous dedication on the show for educate people. Them we had already summarized the importance of today's conversation, and the importance of today's conversation. If I will repeat, what I don't say now, for call on people that make them come and go to the registration centers or verification centers for verify their names. During the registration, we have all been get difficulty for register. We have tower for register, and we don't ever experience this difficulty from 1996, where we return to multi-party politics. These are the first time where registration of voters don't become a challenge. It don't tell like in a Red Sea with the type of cross without vote. So do ya the same way we appeal to now for come out na do and go register. We na count na umbrella there, we na bench them. Una tower, una left for go na market for go register, make them enter una names them. Una use that time there again for go verify una names them. We know say this verification Now, the difficulty no more. Part of the difficulty we don't add, because I remember in 2012, and I still go back to 2012, when we begin to create a biometric system, when they hire a credible company from Belgium for help do the registration, when the time be reached for verify, duplicate registration if there was any, and for check the data. Now we, representatives of civil society, media, and political parties, now we've been going to Belgium, 21 people, paid for by the United Nations. We go to Belgium for verify. Now we do the verification of the data. They call it deduplication. You know, we go, we spend 1 week in Belgium for look at the data. In fact, that we too. I don't forget the name of the other civil society person, you know, because now 10 years. But I do remember when we go to Belgium, when they show me the data, we don't check, they say duplicates not there. I say, okay, I pull my own receipt, my own slip. I say, make them demonstrate my own name, check my name, and then see my picture, all my details come out. A part of that we too do that. The second point I don't forget, but again, I repeat, whatever they talk so, the registrar of the PPRC have been part of the delegation. The registrar of the PPRC at the time have been Abraham John. Right now, I think the working Minister of Foreign Affairs or State House, but today within government. The person will represent SLPP at that meeting at the Internal Affairs Minister right now, Panda Noah. The APC was represented by Claude Commander. So the idea of individual voter verification in the first place, now a new introduction. If you check even the registration process, verification, people then where they named in at the system, where them go for register, them just go, then give the name, then re-verify, then just enter and say you've been there, and give them slip. So then call the registration process, registration and verification. In fact, now they do. For the large pandemic, you find out, say, people who were first-time voters had difficulty for register because people with a name being already there inside the system, they not be supposedly not be encounter difficulty. These are the politicians. Then I make find out, say, members of parliament, anybody that be minister, anybody with a work like government, we go register, you can get free registration. Almost not be get difficulty because their names were already in the system. Even ECSL admits, say, the machine they use, they go for the program, they will make them reflect, may they will get the opportunity for register first-time voters. If I remember the press conference, they also bring first-time voters and then begin testify the difficulties. So what I try to say, the idea of the current verification where they don't add 4 days, this now, it don't come about because ECSL and the stakeholders in the election in this case, I'm talking about political parties, civil society, and the media away from monitor the process. Don't add just difficulty. Now, if we can give sufficient time for people that for register, everybody go register, easy one, they for don't verify, make sure say the details, the registration staff, for don't get the opportunity for register people them, easy way, appropriately, more time, everybody for correcting details every time. But now even registration was done half and half. No sufficient machine. The machine, they all get problem. The camera, they not be the work. The tools are not be the work. Why? Because $10 million that ECSL said they will use for the procurement, they not use them the correct way. We don't even get evidence say ECSL do the procurement as they claim. Now looks like we don't come. Apart from the fact that ECSL talks say they want for delete over 250,000 people. By the way, that 250,000 is more than the combined vote of Kande Yumkela and Samsumana C4C and NGC during the presidential election. If you take that 250,000, it just like where you've been take Samsumana in vote and Kande Yumkela in vote, all you combine and wipe out during the 2018 election, and that it mean. So that the SSL talk say they don't find 250,000 registrants where they believe say they're underage or then register more than once. That raise the point. We don't talk about what are the problem with that one day. How the people that manage register, we don't get answers. Now, even the provisional register, the one the way they think that the correct registration register, where the name ready at the register, where they don't exhibit at the centers and now, which we don't can find out. ECSL has produced a voters register. We're not complete. You don't get complete details. Right now, we are going to the verification centers. We find out, see, which ECSL the provisional register show we that we get thousands of incomplete registration or thousands of voters the way they register, where the details then not complete. And then details and they include the fact that plenty people don't go to the center, they find out, say, they not get face. And if you see Mohammed Kamara, no way, no way people talk, say, this Mohammed Kamara, now you Mohammed Kamara, we picture another day. Which you go see, Mohammed Kamara, no way go see. How many people, for example, now ward 010, when Mohammed Kamara, or constituency 92, we don't go register with the name of Mohammed Kamara, or Yebu Sise. Now, how you go able to know, say, Yebu Sise, where you see, we not get picture that you Yebu Sise that day, or Mabinti Kamara. So basically,
before you go for that the same thing now it happened in 2017. 2017, we get over 53,000 people away they face them, they don't become at the verification. So that 53,000 people a day.
Yeah. So you can't find out say just
everything good because they first they do not promote.
Yeah, so now we don't find out say almost every center where you go, every center within Freetown, within the northwestern region where we don't monitor so far in the last 2 days, you find out say the evidence of missing biometrics that day. And you don't get a biometric registration where names are captured, faces are not captured. How you going to match the other biometric detail with the person? So if anything, apart from the fact say would be a question over 250,000 people who think say ECS don't talk say they go remove them from the register because they register twice or they're not supposed to register now underage people. And now we don't come realize that even the provisional register contain hundreds and thousands of people without complete details. Then details are either I get for doing their own physical details, their names not correct, the names of their parents are not correct, and at the same time, some people, even if where names are on the record and names of their parents and other addresses there on the record, their faces are not safe. And what we don't observe in the last 48 hours, that the fact that most of the registration centers are not even get the inclusion mechanism, because inclusion mechanism will just write the person name. How you get for document the face of the person and match onto the name of the person who is absent. The centers do not get that one day. Because what we don't see like just books, registration, that the register only the end of the day. Now, if somebody turn up, it's different for say with the correct name. Which machine did it? Which camera did it? So basically, with all the registration we next do, with all the money they spend, they don't come produce for we register. We're not complete. We lack all of the significant details. And we don't get any guarantee within these 4 days, say everybody go able for verify the details. Again, this verification for don't be something. These are all issues. If political parties, they talk to them, they go political party liaison meetings, PPLC meetings, they talk about the register, they don't identify all of these missing details way ahead of the time because next get over 6 weeks or about 6 weeks since the end of registration to the production of a provisional voters register. How will you produce a provisional voters register that is lacking or missing all of these biometric details? Which biometric registration will produce the details of a registered voter that is incomplete? Because when a voter will register, in thumbprint, in name, in address, and other biographic details, including in facial recognition, should be captured and matched to the exact biometric imprint where the person gets. Now, if ECSL talks to them procure this real equipment and all of that, how did they produce a register that has hundreds and thousands of names of voters who were registered, who are on the record, whose biographic details and biometric details are absent? And how political parties will be they attend ECSL meetings on the question of registration and the verification of the register or the discussion around the register to the point where a provisional register was produced, they're not able to identify these missing details of voters and raise these questions, and now they don't go print paper and registration booklets with names of people without the complete record. So the question is this a provisional register? No, it is not. A provisional register and a register of voters will get all the details of all the registered voters who are captured. The provisional register is not just meant to correct, make people verify, say they've been entered into the record. is meant to find out whether people who were eligible to register have not been included, so they can be included at the essence of an inclusion form. Provisional register is not published or exhibited for the purpose of identifying missing details. Provisional register now for find out if there are eligible voters in a given constituency who try to register, who we are not registered, so that can be included. Yes, there are also opportunities for the correction of spelling mistakes and things like that. But a biometric register, when it is exhibited, it is not meant to produce an incomplete folio, incomplete register. You find out say Chernobyl. You say yes, you say Chernobyl, you say antibody picture not the. And there are many generic names. And remember, this is the thing where the ECSL talk say that makes they say they do biometric. They want people to say no, we register 2 times. So because then they try for give a unique identifier according to them. Because now they try to distinguish between Mohammed Kamara from another Mohammed Kamara. But now with all of that promise, all of that talk, all of that difficulty, all of that scrutiny, where they say that they do, we don't end up. We don't end up to square 0, where we do not know the total number of people. At least from the ECSL has to provide one, the total number of people with missing biometric details. This is the total number of people we then talk to, and then don't identify, we lack, we register 2 times, or how you call them, they're underage. Now they identified underage voters. They identified duplicate registration, but they did not tell us the total number of people whose biometric imprints or biometric details were not complete. The statistics were announced. There is nowhere where ECSL told the people of Sierra Leone that they have X amount of voters, 100,000 or 200,000 voters or more, whose faces are not reflected in the register, whose other biometric details are not reflected in the register. And we have no way of also knowing how many people whose faces may have been matched with the wrong names. All of these are there. So how are you going to address all of them here in 4 days? Or the time when they allot up to Monday? And your opposition politicians will talk say that we don't monitor this exercise because the APC then claims it then deploy party agents there also. Ahmed say that's what we need to talk. Now, when you don't come to verification, in the highlight problems with the register, but they admit back say they not get register, they not get party agents and across verification centers for address all of them. So we are back to square 0, where we've been talking about. We've been talking say the time allotted for voter registration was incomplete. We've been talking say ECSL don't decide for introduce difficulty in the registration process because they want to exclude people from voting. Now we don't come to a position where people in Tawa say they must register. People that don't register, they don't get slipped there, their names there and the biometric details, their face they're not at the register. So how then people are with their registration slip? You know, we'll give somebody a registration slip if you don't capture your face. You know, don't capture all we're supposed to be the registration details of the individual. The register talks if I make somebody register, if I don't get in face, all the details are complete, including in thumbprint. For don't they inside the register before you get a slip. You know they give a voter a registration slip if the voter has not been properly, completely, and accurately registered. Any voter whose name or details appeared in a voter record that is missing an element of a new biometric detail shows that voter they was not properly registered, was not completely registered, was not accurately registered. So the question is how an electoral officer that's in charge of registration will give a voter a registration slip without making sure the individual has complete biometric details captured. And this is not to 1, not to 2, not to 3. Virtually every center that we have monitored in Freetown has evidence of these dozens and dozens, hundreds of people whose names, whose biometric details, are not complete. And even the one that would see the picture, we're also not even sure that these individuals, their biometric imprint is actually matched with their faces. So what would they say?
Because which one say break that side down China to create level?
What kind of system when ECSL used for which kind of biometric system this? So that are the question. So we want for I know say that are technical detail. What you want to tell people it's very important. It's very important for them to go registration.
Absolutely. That is the most crucial point now where we try for make to people for go verify their registration. Because if you not verify your registration, you're not going for vote. And when you for vote, what do you mean? Now one vote we don't short in, so and that one vote in I can mean the vote where they pull matter beyond power. So I know say you don't want to be that person when you vote, make Marabio sit on that place there. We know say the opposition, when you look at the opposition leaders, especially Honorable Chino Majuba of the APC, all these years what they tell this man for stand up against the SLPP, all the publications of the African Express, corruption after corruption. This man not ever bring any of these things kind of the well of parliament for letting discuss anything there. This not the thing where the world go here, people go see and understand say where they come up from the opposition is very powerful. They say Honorable Chino Majuba don't invite the wife of the president for can explain how he receive money from the consolidated fund. Where the same woman be don't deny and lie for saying not get money from the consolidated fund. Then with the African Express brown cow the publication now, it can prove say this woman had receive money from the consolidated fund. Where enough supposed for because according to the Public Financial Management Act, it is very clear. Say, enough supposed for receive money they then get how they allocate money to every ministry, department, and agency in that country. They. And the office of the first lady not to one where they receive money from the consolidated fund directly. So for the very first time. Then publication after publication. Talk about the Timber Gate. Marabios turned thief over $400 million from Timber. Babadi Kamara, they build stadium nabo with Timber money. But now they make like for say, this man a good man. See, I don't can build. Well, we got the money at least he left inside salon. But at the end of the day, we got for take that stadium in Ayan. But what you say now? Members of parliament, the opposition, be supposed for stand up against the President BO and the SLPP and all the institutions them. Cherry Coco, they tell them they launch the registration and go dance with SLPP. How this man go fetch for with people? The 10 with people and they suffer for register. Chenoba. Them are all the members of parliament and they on vacation. Nobody know they for defend and help with people. That's why people then suffer. Say if not so we they continue for come and talk to them. So go ahead, Cheno, continue. I know say you want to continue now.
Yeah. I just want to repeat the key points and the key point that the fact that what we don't see with the voter registration, that the fact that the exhibited register, the provisional register, get incomplete by biometrics. The details of voters and the pictures were absent are very serious things. So that make for encourage everybody. Like how we come on for go register. Do ya we make time for go na same registration centers and we verify we details. Make sure say you properly registered. If you not get you find out say you there among the people that we don't get problem or we encounter problem where you picture another day. Send you details to +1 410 300 2090. Now the same WhatsApp number would have been used for send we details. Would already they get people in the complaint. We'll continue for submit the one and they will highlight them and continue for report about them. But key thing what I get for understand that opposition parties they're supposed for raise awareness, supposed for call on una for go register. For go verify una registration. That's the responsibility. Then at this point, we don't know, say, with the register alone, apart from the fact that we tell you the 250,000 people where ECSL talks in underage people that we register. Now, even the register where them produce, we get thousands of people them where the names and they face they're absent. Or if they face them the names them spelled wrong, the other details them absent. And most of the registration centers that now in Africa where we watch and the Northwest, they not even get inclusion mechanism. They not get camera, they not get scanners for repeat the registration for make sure say if you name or you face not there, then go correct them. The inclusion process is not there. Even if inclusion day, 4 days or 5 days not sufficient for address all of them problem there. So basically, ECSL with all the problem they will then create, they not end up for produce and register. We're not even complete. The one they wait on for register, they never get them complete details. How they begin and sleep. So we need to address this. And this make it important, make everybody take the same time when I take for go verify when I registration. This for don't be something where political parties for don't do. And the political parties liaison committee meetings. That's about them tea and for don't discuss. We for don't know about them tea before even them exhibit the register. So that make the call on do ya when I turn up. When I begin from today, Saturday, when I begin for go to the centers and check on our names. I don't read the number. Even they go repeat the number again. They post and not circulate this number. +1 410 300 2090. Most of them I get the number because I didn't have WhatsApp group. I know they get attracted. That the right, if we're not able, why this thing important? If we're not able to get a credible voters register, we don't get free and fair election. And you can only able for vote if your details and complete like the record. Because like you register, you're not verified, then can't with ID card, you're not able to take your ID card. Like you want to vote against Madam, you're not able to vote against that. And that the same voter suppression mechanism, where they introduced with the NIN, would say go bring birth certificate. Now even the one they wait Tawate and get the name they registered, this is one way where they go remove your name. Because your face nowadays, you don't go verify, you don't include your face. When they out ID card, they don't go print for your ID card without face. So you don't see. So apart from that 250,000 what they talk about, even you where you think say your name today, if your face nowadays, they don't go give you ID card. Because the only way they're going to say the ID card where you hold now you, now if you face today. So if you get hundreds of thousands of people there without faces, how they will able to get ID card? At what point will ECSL go take picture of them and enter under the system? And how we go guarantee say if they take the picture then now the picture and go appear at the time when they give their ID card? These are the problems. So we do not really have a provisional register. What we have is a register with incomplete registrants. Because a ghost registration that day. Because you go there, Ibrahim Fona, you appear, then you don't fair taste. Okay, let me name this. All the verification centers, then get camera day, wait for take a picture day, or you get for come back. Or they will give you slip say go na ECSL headquarters, may go snap picture day. Or go na NCRA for go snap picture. So what are we going to do with the hundreds of thousands of people whose names are on the register but they have no photograph? Then in 4 days, which mechanism, which center they will get a camera? Wait for people away appear with the name and face another day. Because they don't go print for you ID card with no picture, voter ID card with no picture. If you be say voter ID card not for the correct picture, that means there was no reason why they take people and pictures in the first place. Why some people get pictures, some people do not get picture. How the people that wear pictures not appear, then get for able for vote. At what point you get to take them picture? At what point you get for print ID cards for them? These are the reasons we make all these opposition politicians when they talk about fair defend the parliament. Defend they may not begin from the very first way parliament start. But parliamentarians have responsibility right now for make sure say they help we for produce a credible voters register. Any country without a credible elections register will not have credible elections. And right now we not get a credible election registration process. The process of registration was designed to exclude voters, for suppressed voters. Now we don't come to a point where a provisional register has been produced without the complete details of registered voters. Now a serious problem now one day, very serious problem. And then give only 4 to 5 days to for check. Now even within the 4 to 5 days where you go, they not get any system there for say, okay, Mohammed Kamara, Ibrahim Sise, we name them there, we don't understand name them this, we face another day. How for match take a picture and match will include an the record. Or even if they do which guarantee we get say by the time they produce voters register voter ID cards, they will go to the voting place and get an ID card. Because these are the essence of registration. So these are the problem and these very serious problems.
Oh yes.
If we cannot a credible voters register, then we not go get a credible election. The voter suppression that we have campaigned against from the passing of the Public Elections Act to now, to the registration difficulties up to now, it continues. There is still determination on the part of ECSL and the collaborators of the regime for make sure say people will likely vote against Madam Yumeri able for vote. And this is a serious problem. And now we know they're able for because people are not even told sufficiently enough. They're not educated enough. They don't say there is opportunity for them for turn up, for go register, for go check their registration. Now they turned up to register. The provisional register has been produced with all the efforts they make difficulty. Then face another day. Why that will happen? How they go correct that? Which mechanism they for correct that? Which are the time we need for correct all this one? Verify, make sure say everybody named them, they in picture, they in details all correct before they produce a voter ID card. We will get almost few months now to election. And we're not worried about Parliament. Parliament don't fail we in these 4 years. There is nothing Parliament will do anymore for change what not happen in the last 4 to 5 years now. In fact, Parliament and time don't know. In the next 4 to 5 months, Parliament they close. You don't go forget parliamentarian again. Everybody return for election. So whether Parliament they fed now today, they fed tomorrow, they fed the next 3-4 months, it not get no use again. Because this, in the 4 years of Parliament, they don't approve budget, they don't fail for take action on timber losses, theft of resources, corruption, they don't fail all of that. There is no fight that Parliament is going to do if they begin fed every day self. From tomorrow, they fed, next tomorrow, they fed, then broke about Mundu bench, then scatter all things in Parliament, you go to Parliament, meet no computer another day. You don't get no use for me again. Now, by December, December will enter. So, January, February, March, by April, leading up to May, Parliament will be closed. So, Parliament not even get 6 months again. So, them member of Parliament, in the next 3 to 4 months, the status as member of Parliament don't finish.
And while still on this point, I want to remind people, in as much as members of Parliament have fought for this PPRC, for this proportional representation, the bill they will not pass. Remind we people, the bills they will pass within the short period of time.
Oh yeah, especially even yesterday, there be a debate how to pass a new political parties law. That new political party law, the law will make it difficult for smaller parties to exist. Now law will go restrict the independent political party, for give more power to PPRC. Look what the PPRC do to. Look what the PPRC do to APC, the internal fight. They add more problem inside the fire. Add more fire inside the problem. Now that PPRC want to go give more power as opposition members. When they don't pass a law or where they call national security central intelligence, we take away people's privacy rights. So all of this, we're not able to list the laws from the Cyber Act to the local government, even this PRT what they talk about. So now the creation of Parliament. Because if we not be highlight and fight and expose public elections, we are not going to know about that. The very Parliament we talk say the proportional representation, they never debate in the Parliament, and now they talk say they perfect over proportional representation. It's just a facade. But whether they fight or they not fight or they fight now, the next 3-4 months, everything they fight, you don't get nothing again for to do. You know, go change the bad law the way Madam Bureau pass. You know, go change the theft of public money. You know, go change the budget the way the budgets and supplementary budgets where they don't give Madam Bureau the way they waste. You know, go change the fact that we get 2 currency where they happen as alone the first 10 of history. 2 running currencies, old Lyon and new Lyon.
I swear to God,
we don't
2 currencies.
So all of this, we're not able to address all them problems. But what if we get right for do? We right to vote. The right of the people to choose whether they want for me continue the next 5 years after this madness will happen. Now that right they want for thief back now in the hand. And that right now your right. Now God given the right. Now a natural right given to you by being born in Sierra Leone and being citizens of Sierra Leone. Now the right for choose. If the MP they want to do something, one great thing we're good for now. They want to do one thing now in this 5 years we're good for now. For TINAP now and talk say all man. Everybody, when a Sierra Leone we register, suppose to get the right for register, suppose to get the right for vote. The MPs then get the right for do that for now. Then get the opportunity for do that for now. Challenge ECSL for make them work according to the law. So that I want to say. I know I don't dominate the conversation too much.
It's enough.
Key points
I think the points are enough, General. 42 minutes later, I think say this is enough for home and let people understand. Say the most important thing we will talk now for go verify the registration. Go verify your registration. Matter be for go, yes, but now you vote now get for count. The international community not get for count for we of the vote the numbers they no match up. Because we know say the opposition will for team up and talk tanga talk, not the talk tanga talk. But one of the people on a vote now get for count eventually at the end of the day. So go to the registration center where you be register. For go check the day and make sure say you name the day, you picture the day. When I read people's power, don't tell na young girl picking in picture no appear na the registration center. Why? Because they don't want to vote by tomorrow. When the picking go vote now, ID card, you don't get forget ID card safe because we picture the ID make ID card.
Ibrahim, law left for the put unnecessary pressure for people them. We all don't see from the registration the willingness of the people them. When the members of parliament, the opposition leader, specifically, we they're able to snap for save them people and for defend them. We people to come out for register for register.
Not forget saying that we the people now. Comrade,
then people they're not allowed it. Yeah.
You know saying that we and the people now, comrade. The members of parliament they don't fail the people all of them. We are now for full matter.
The people them if we shoot it happen, the willingness to Ibrahim. the people they do they put in, then they do what they for do. But the one way for now for let this year happen, and don't deliberately. This is deliberate. Don't refuse for make them take actions. Like what in China they say, all this year they talk so. If remember they don't take all them out sincerity from who start this talk. Like not for those also this today.
Absolutely.
But they may able fully pull them for say who hates them. Everything they do. But Ibrahim, the Ariuk boss the which man powerful passer. In way for kish the which say this which man powerful passer. Remember, the kish which say this which I powerful.
I tell you.
Then what you expect? That the league complain. The first thing is to follow registration first. MP the league complain. Me people them. Me say don't come constituency. That true. The people MP league complain. We talk and two. We talk with the lie. They will be hit them. The next punch and don't do so. Ibrahim, whatever they happen to this country, we point out these things. We say these things. We say this thing that happens so they make not to win in this. We know they're talking about like APC election, you know. But what we could emphasize because now then na formidable party who fits in the matter view. But they see the ineptitude of these members of parliament, especially the leader of the opposition. The service and they give all options for like the matter view get second chance. This is a circumstantial fact. Ibrahim, let me tell you something. We all begin prepare because people will tell them the truth. Truth, if you are like with the wash of food, if you not problem, you need put new medicine there. You need well. If you then people say for the talk today, even the people that say today who the talk for so, them don't so them they can't them they cost free.
Yes.
Hey, when I just fast it, when I just mix so this, when I just fast the members of parliament there. Now all those who don't talk when they see that lie, they don't expunge them, no PR, no NI, not this, not that. Not to end out the talk about again. Now, not to even PR still talk about again. It don't even matter self. The registration we in. Remember, SL people win election with 90,000 votes, less than 2%. Now they not succeed for delete 250,000 and more.
And all that from
we done this up now. We'll talk about manufacturing Ibrahim. The problem not start long ago. I don't tell we don't talk about like say rigging. It's a continuous process of not just one. A continuous process. They start way before pulling the.
Absolutely.
We don't tell them long ago. From where this first in history, then do registration for lay people and go. They take the same machine and do for the NCRN go do for register 2 weeks. Who say and the ever happy for register 2 weeks. Then they can't to pass. Who talk to they allow the MP they allow can't to pass. In fact, that get premise excuse for defend the government. No way they say machine no day. Then turn no back and pull the money with them procure for lay then get every machine. Today they no one even say Kushe would that talk in parliament. One day. To when the parliament said they didn't even cut out. So say Kushe would that talk in parliament.
I didn't mean to laugh, but the way you say they don't want to say Kushe.
Yes, the parliament will say Kushe will this talk yourself. Yes, so the money then one day. Because they don't share the money. I tell me, I say this out no regrets. The parliament now then are the most corrupt institution organized alone today. Boss they like it or not, but one day they will be tell the talk. Then one they say Kushe for this money, which nobody say, okay, where the money they say instead they allow the man can give false breakdown of the money. Even that false breakdown they're not talk about them. Then they commodity. Registration come. First 2 weeks, they call 80%. We say people na go participate, let the man call all the MP then. They're not in the leader of the push. I think any serious thing happen. So the first one, so the second one, so the third one. This anything when something happen, now one thing by accident, something go meet them. That is possible. This one I don't deal go. No see so let because some of you know go for me. Because anything something happen to the first one this if you MCC Ghana alone, they go say don't go Ghana or don't go Nigeria or don't go Gambia. He just get side for going something happen. Ibrahim at this point in time, then they discuss bill and I'm the leader of opposition they come out na salon. Let's be honest now. Anytime before that they will say, okay, now let them call the entire 100% first 2 weeks, nothing. Second 2 weeks, come. And your manufacturer nothing, no call again. 2 days. Go to your number. We begin tell them say no. Before I go the 2 days when they add, let them call all the timber centers. Then they defend the neck. Now what you can see now after registration, they not show you the number. They almost put the register by center. No pull nothing. No pull no list. Then just say 254,000 people them or 57,000 people them. then double it or with a rubbish excuse. Imagine Parliament. No Igbo call for lie instead now complain. They could let away rights. They complain. Not to let out an authority. Hey, yeah, now we no more. If you talk, I wish me. I mean that position day. Because not to is that a leader of opposition, the right letter to an economic show. What the letter? What's in the by letter? We strong. Let's be very honest. You know, we know they can't forget make hypocrite because we don't know CV. Now left footless endeavor they can do. Don't let you make get time because the education we don't tire see with the education problems and fight for a long haul. Look what's happening. They not forget what I do. Now what to make them do here because you know see they don't pull it on 50,000 people or more. I mean record all the police in the parliament so that all the pay attention now. Hey, they don't go fight in the parliament, they don't beat this, they don't do that. We don't forget about the verification. All my attention, when I watch this thing, any television people and do something, then they can't something they start people for them put attention goodie until they succeed in the pan. If we not be careful, this way is done so now. The next will go at this if they minus now, if they minus all man go Allah. 250,000 or more. Now, who said them pull and do over? Who said them do over voting or do underage registration? Now, which area? Not from the south, not from the east, not from the north, not from the west. Who side?
Just when you talk this talk, it's like I say this government everything for reduce the people and chances the people and I emphasize the people hopefully I would not sound like Subula right there because like every time the people we give them chance. We give them the mandates for run the affairs of the country because not to the life they for run, that the affairs of the country. Because not so we all go sit down, say we kind of like they go lead. So anything we get for lead. But comrade, you don't feel say every time the people get chance, they always defend a way for reduce the people and chance for votes. What if, and I'm gonna ask this question to you and Chino, if somebody not be verified, waiting go get for vote?
Yeah. Let tell you something. Let's say the two funny now. Then say would that be vote 2 or 12? Automatically, if you be no vote, you qualify for in fact you need for go step you need system already. Well, how then how 250,000 people then go minus? So would that so maybe not vote 2 or 12 in the 2018. Let me tell you something, Ibrahim Cashbox Cherno. You know, until we critically understand whether they pretend, whether they're sincere, Salon already for Gono side. Really, people are second problem because I really defend. You know, don't mortgage we live for 500,000, 1 million. Hey, this MP good. We may picking that and give me 1 million. Hey, this MP we school open and go give me 500,000. None of the people they want. Not voting, they make them pick their life better. You know, and this money when they give us so now thief now the money the thief and will give us so. We have to understand these things. Hey, me, I don't tell them time when I can say, why can't social media for can't talk now? I know they can't for campaign nobody. Because God and my conscience now they fight for. This fight for the first so now for God and country. If not for political party, like I don't say not take. Like all run the pandits now don't say go matter you una Chris to Chris. Who's looking for don't go join this thing? But no. What you the thief for? What you get for gain at the end of the day? What shall it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? What you get for profit you? That's the truth. Because we all for let me say some people have seen that we not get future or no getting for do. We have a lot of who's getting for do money. Who's for don't join the cabal, the president abuse. Fair one. One other would for that abuse so God you go give me musician and the thief.
No, comrade. But comrade, now they want send money in your bank account. Now we say you tell we. We not even now you tell now you say no. When you check, they want send over $50,000 for you. They said tomorrow you no talk. Not for anything. You no talk again.
I tell them say very simple. I say no. When I not give me when I go and I should the money. Because that the cause we me sacrifice my life for. I say me don't suffer that pain at the army. Let me colleague them not suffer that pain. Look, Ibrahim, let me tell you. Last month alone, now 26 soldiers died because of personal day. 26.
See?
Even during the war, they came. Last month alone, the 26 soldiers died. 100 units, 2-3 men died inside 24 hours.
How you can give me $50,000 for instance, they will be not be victim. We the family for pay money for do operation for me. We not to the country or the army where they serve giving that money. But the people in SSSF supposed to understand say this talk with the talk so will not hit nobody. Will not matter of fact what we hit with the hit for. Now like we like for calling in a pop na media like come over like for calling them again. Na name nice time na salon person my name. It's not possible. That's for who they call it now. Sell the seller for say who do so. Low put it in for sell. It's not possible. But we just want to make the step of and do the right thing. But consistently, then guys don't feel salon. Consistently, they started this mess for more than allow for the local council to kick out. Who talk and they say no, hey, not the MP then at the time. Hey, because of time, you know that they flimsy excuse them. Because of time, and we could agree say, no, go say, hey, if we allow this local council for June, matter be not succeed by all the plan. We said that to Dan audio consistently for 2020 2022. To say election, hence we get 2022 local council election. The SLP plan on well. If you are the MP, then when they defend SLP plan, no, na time no they all go 5 years. The local council acts in for 4 years. For God's sake, so no see we no get Ebola, we no get Corona. If you American Corona, then in the highest level, they make election. Law no allow for let this local council dump because if local council been go cast all net also PS all for beating of the past. The MP then completely they knew the plan. We said this thing so allows we get for cause so many problems alone. No, and this one and they're not crazy. Now because of money no the man have the TV they fly all kind fly they go forge una no call una no see una need the picture. Matter of fact, I think say the people the MP there for even call matter be pass and go clap for them. Pass and clap for them. Then they do see for they say for the eyes of men.
Comrade, Section 51 of the Constitution, giving the authority for someone the president.
No, not right, Ibrahim. What you see? This Ibrahim, I think say, I'm glad for the MP. Then one we are glad for. They make Ibrahim pay attention by the Constitution. Now they make Ibrahim come this entire Constitution, so he be say it pull an offhead.
That's what they got.
Because they make all they overread, all they go research now by force. Why make them mad? What's made this week talk to you?
When he bracket, they call the accent at the Constitution. I can just go up in me and say, "You are man who can straight me safe back."
Yeah, because you begin that for us. Also, talk true on a lie. Sometimes this thing that no go check and back. Then they make people the pay attention. But Ibrahim, let tell you something. I swear to God, the blessing the APC gets inside these 4 years plus. If an SLP gets doing Anes era, remember how Anes allowed the Lepan and then succeed for Lepan, and then will defend them bosses. Remember,
Comrade,
the release rate number don't pull.
Comrade,
I said to them take 5 of, not to all of 5 of them. The best SLP with seriousness. They won't done SLP.
Comrade,
but then lock the item.
Comrade, this SLPP, this mother bio, these guys were sharing my audio, then my video, and they share on the SLPP platform. Them. So the same thing. Imagine all this. Just less than 6 months to election. While they talk for Kande Imkela, I was focused on Kande Imkela. Then share them because they're not saying that in their favor of the work. Me not even look at SLPP.
You see, Ibrahim, them points there where comrade ratio, like where he say, at the last number, but where he say APC get blessing. It is not a joke. No. When you look at I am chairman of Africanist Press. If SLPP had gotten this opportunity, this chance, APC, I can always say this, APC from the shame for stand for the last election. Imagine from every angle, when it comes to corruption, just nobody expose these guys every day and night. When it comes to the security, where it basically underpin every successful country. You see, they talk about these things. Go to the Constitution. Oh, that's kind of like, honestly, I wasn't interested in Salon Constitution. You kind of like they expose, tell people, these protest people were people in the job for so. If it wasn't because of you, because you started this, telling people about their right for protest in any country, beginning.
It's sad, man. It's sad. But some people like how Cashbox to talk with all those Cashbox online. The focus of this message today, I follow and go verify on a registration. Go to a registration center. We're only 58 minutes. Okay. Yes, Cash. Okay, we don't get you back.
Yeah, when it comes to the security side, you talk about the Constitution. Like I don't want to talk about the finances of the country. Like when we say way before, since Ibrahim, I tell you. When the guy they have begin their nonsense, In 2018, Ibrahim, I do an audio where I tell people and say, "Oh, no, not seen that yet." When I even make reference to Kamadu Buya,
it's a fact.
When they go play na Mali or so,
It's a
when
fact.
When you play at Tapam, say Mon Ami,
Facts.
where I pull Parable say, "Now Kamadu Buya say, oh, now you were." I mean, no more now, right? 2018, Ibrahim. This was when I actually say, "Salonga for Trianga." Wait, but waiting people have become at that time. Ibrahim, if XLPP gets this kind of opportunity, like APC, like for shame, for stand, for even contest the election. APC cannot take advantage of this thing. When you go to the list, the bank references them. Wait, Jen Obano only said the TIFO. A guy with bank references. And not only that, when he said the
Lord have mercy.
Ibrahim, go to the audit report. It match exactly what in China say. When you talk about the timber, what happened? It match exactly what in the Auditor General say. What happened? The moment when the Auditor General one can pull the thing that the last audit report, Ibrahim. Yes, like the woman. And when I talk about audit report, so Ibrahim, the audit report, anytime from now, it can come out. The dodgy one, the possibility put today, we don't know anything about.
Tell me the difference between Chernobyl and release with the GCT report when they try APC for, when they blackmail them for. Chernobyl not just pull thief. If people names and business enterprise names to be mentioned in the reports. Yeah, tell me the difference between Chernobyl in report to the GCT report because people names they measure inside it. You know, me, I don't talk about Imkela. I don't know how long ago Imkela the most hypocrite politician. The APC are the one link. The one link, big party, one link, passport party. You know, no. KQ and game plan this for them party remain in power. We have to understand that. You know, we talk the one link, the one type for link. Ibrahim, people them for understand. See, we have nothing against the members of parliament. We don't get nothing against anybody. Even matter we don't get nothing against. I don't talk against. And now we depend just alone. It might have been even 6% of voters come out of the room, you know, talk nothing. If you look at the tribalism, like you know, can mix from the thief. Like we say, plan for campaign corruption. If I give nobody say they could get so for all the for them find out for who they don't thief. And I feel a small look at it. If I give me a day like who they look at the secret sector, forgive a day like who the top of control cash, what the top of finance. No. All that also no for honest croma, we not give people too much opportunity for talk. It all be banana. Past election happen people try for fair loophole because election I like you say the most first side for punch you.
That's swear to God.
We're not people any chance. The democracy be the flow. People get right. So until people understand, say, anyway, them man know it. Now what I need one call back. Might be we also pass anything. Now me to go fast in him na public. The MP na like there or then get understand. Say we just they look at them here because we don't see this thing coming. We saw this thing coming. Like what they tell them say, hey, if we not be careful, we are not winning. We tell them about this year. Long ago, local council will be right. We don't talk about PR system today or any number or land for don't die long time. It's a deliberate plan. Tell them say, hey, the aim of this for pushing local council, then get a plan for the general election. The one combine so they go to the election. They say not possible. They not Chris. Well, they not Chris. They Chris this out. They not Chris for put any number. It can't to pass. They not Chris for put the NCR. They can't to pass. They not Chris for put PR system. Now independent can't to pass. So they not Chris for reduce votes. Now they can't to pass. So people understand say the MPs have not. They get little between the offer to Salowin are good than the bad. That is a fact. If we don't understand that we are doomed.
Right, if you don't brush your teeth anyway. Okay. But yeah, comrades, good points along people them. I think say if anything again, comrade coach don't come heap some heavy salient points them. But Kashi, you are last minute one and then China go closer for we.
No, make China finish them. I guess everything have been said, Ibrahim. I guess we the fight a genuine fight. We waiting people and don't know and let we tell them today, and I'm going to say it. People do not understand that we've engaged, or I should say me, and I don't engage Jericho personally. Try for say, we get this thing now, so let we fight this thing together, and he refused completely. And not to say we'll be the Belamo. No, we just they say let we secure lives and property in that country there. But he refused. So if anybody they feel say we go after him, I don't care. I don't really care what people they say, as long as God knows say we are genuine. May Cheno close up, Ibrahim.
Thank you. But Cheno, remind the people again one more time, bruh.
Yeah, I just want to remind people then do you wanna go to the registration centers for check on our registration details. If you find out say you picture no day or any other thing missing, you encounter problem, when I send the report to we will not give the number +1 410 300 2090. That day on WhatsApp. Send we the message. We compile that. We send it to people who we believe will help for put pressure, make the right thing be done. Right now, the voter register don't show we a lot of problems. It don't show we say ECSL not carry out the registration according to how it's supposed to do. And get a biometric registration, you produce a register of voters with incomplete biometric details. If anything, opposition parties get obligation for make sure that Sierra Leoneans will qualify for vote, where they don't register, then complete registration is reflected in the register. If somebody in name appear, you not get picture, you don't go for vote because they're not going to print for you a voter ID card. So it's very important to make ECSL show we and tell we within a reasonable time how they will address all of these problems of eligible voters, people who have been registered, whose biometric details are missing, photographs and other details are missing. We need that as soon as possible. We're going to able for solve them problem here. If we now register, we go verify our details. We go verify our report to we again. These details, these difficulties, if you find out, say, your own details missing, send me the report. We will help for call attention to that, hoping that the right thing will be done. So I just want to stop here and tell you thank you. Until next time, I think say the key message, voter verification. Everybody for turn up for register. Beginning today, Saturday, Sunday, right up to Monday. When I sacrifice the same time when I be sacrificed for go register, when I sacrifice for see if our details are not complete and the register. So that I want for repeat.
Thank you, brother. Bye-bye, everybody. Have a beautiful Saturday. Come on now. One thing where you read this message, go verify. Go verify immediately. You name that the voter registration center outside you register. Thank you. Bye-bye.